Saudi joins us now. He's a legal practitioner to continue our focus on looking at national security matters. Morning, and thank you for coming on today.
Good morning.
Well, we're just looking at operations of the service chiefs, expectations, amidst the complaints coming from some quarters, how they need to forge ahead. But with respect to the complaints that seems to be springing up, do you see that impeding perhaps their performance? Are you surprised by that complaint or what?
Yes, certainly we are surprised about that type of complaint coming from a quarter of a region in this country. You see, this country has been divided into north and southern Nigeria from origin. And if you see this type of complaint coming from a region or a quarter, possibly from northern Nigeria, it is absurd. Not just absurd, it is shocking. It's also a tragic complaint.
But I mean, how does that in any way reflect the reality on ground? Or should we dismiss whatever they've said with a wave of hand?
No. We don't dismiss such serious complaints with just a wave of the hand. These are trying times in this country. And trying times like this, you need to take drastic actions. Look into whatever comes your way so that you avoid the occurrence in future, so that this country can forge ahead.
But when you say drastic, doesn't that suggest some sort of, something actually happened that should be punitive? If you say drastic.
No, drastic does not follow that it's going to be punitive.
What does it mean?
Drastic means that there are going to be proactive actions against the type of allegations coming from a quarter. You undertake proactive actions.
You don't think that might be misconstrued as to saying, look, is that how we appreciate the effort that they've put in so far?
Government, the business of government is to solve problems. The business of government anytime, any day, is to take decisions. Whether rightly or wrongly, decisions have to be taken. And you find that when a drastic measure is being put in place, drastic in the sense that these have to be proactive actions.
So what will our own business be in the light of the business of government? Citizens now.
Good. Citizens have to, as governed, they follow the government policies and programs. Not just following government policies and programs, keying into them. Not just keying into them, be part and parcel of it as you have in democratic settings. Civilized democratic settings, not in democratic settings where the region of the country begins to praise wanton killings. Civilized democracy.
Do you think we appreciate the efforts that security outfits in this country are putting in to securing us? Because remember when this insurgency started, the speed, the frequency with which IEDs were going up every now and then compared to what is happening now, do we?
We don't seem to appreciate it. And that is unfortunate. And that is also very tragic. Because government has done a lot to control these insurgents. Government has also done a lot to stem the tide. In doing this, government will also seemingly step on toes, and that's exactly what is going on.
How do you think we can, if you agree that we're not appreciating as much as we should,
yes,
how do you think we can now begin to show appreciation to our troops and also maybe to the government in terms of doing what they've done? Well, some will say it's their job, but I mean, definitely we should be able to say that we notice and we're grateful.
Yes, that's correct. We should be able to do this by encouraging them, not singling them out for trials at the International Court of Justice or anywhere for war crimes or whatever. We should be able to encourage them. We should be able to improve their services, improve the type of money they get, because some of them have lost their lives in trying to secure you and I, in trying to secure this country, trying to secure this democracy, which have been hard fought for and hard won.
So basically, if I'm taking a cue from Mark Bai, because maybe we should make it more specific now. What exactly, apart from words, you also talked about remuneration on this particular matter. This call is something that we should also look into as a country, isn't it?
Yes.
So we mustn't necessarily be talking about the ICC. We should, as a people, maybe investigate and find out if truly those allegations were true.
Certainly, I believe that the military should be encouraged rather than being castigated. I also believe that there should be increased funding for the military to be able to fight insurgents, get across any type of security challenges that may crop up from time to time. Because these things, you can't divest Nigeria from it. Nigeria is not a utopia state. This thing happens everywhere, and so Nigeria cannot be an ideal state where things go on normal at all times. So government has to be proactive, like I said, get these our military men trained and retrained. The basic truth about these things that before they started, the Nigerian armed forces were not trained in insurgents, curtailing and attack and all that.
They were not trained, or they didn't expect that kind of challenge.
Not that they didn't just expect it. Honestly, they didn't expect it. But certainly too, they were not trained in managing such crises. What they knew from the beginning was just going to the field of war, fight wars and come back.
Some would
And notice
disagree,
that
but
this country just won civil war.
what's your assessment of the information management of our security forces, especially as this insurgency is going on? Because, I mean, time and again, when you pick up some of the dailies, you see the information out there about casualties here and there, but some always read it with, well, some say they read between the lines, however they read between the lines, but in terms of information management from them to the people, what's your assessment of that?
Information management
From the military,
for the military to the people
security agencies, in fact, to Nigerians.
have been so poor.
How do you mean?
Good. It has been so poor in the sense that some of the attacks, almost all the attacks, took them unawares. Took our security chiefs unawares.
How can we say almost all?
Almost
What do you
all.
mean?
All of them.
Give us shed some light on that.
Good. Were the security forces ready for the attack in Mogadishu barracks? Were they ready? They were not. And that was the highest point where we saw that they failed in their duty, because that was supposed to be a military barracks. And little boys, small boys, came into that same platform and attacked them. They were not prepared.
You call them little boys. Did you see them?
Yes. we saw the boys that were put on trial.
Oh dear.
Yes.
Okay, but I mean,
I don't
that
think an
time-
individual can be greater than a country.
Well, it's interesting you're also a lawyer.
Yes.
So the judiciary has a big role to play here.
Yeah.
For those who are undergoing trial as we speak,
Yes.
you know, we had complaints also from some of the agencies in terms of the length of this trial, how justice ought to be dispensed, how those who are perhaps thought not to be on bail are granted bail.
Yes.
Some of these judgments impede justice as we're made to believe. What do you think of
No,
that?
they don't impede justice in any way, because as a judge, you are not going to work in isolation. You work with laws, you work with rules and regulations as a judge.
But in this circumstance, when somebody...
Like I told you,
Yeah.
Nigerians were not prepared, just like the military forces were not prepared.
Okay, let me give you this
Certainly
scenario.
too, the laws meant to deal with insurgencies were not there on the ground.
So it means what? The judiciary is not also prepared for this?
Not the judiciary this time, the lawgivers.
What about when some persons who are accused of playing a part in the whole act are in court, and then perhaps assuming investigations are concluded, they're expected to be there, but if they are granted bail, they get back to the society, continue communication with some of those people. Of course, that could also mean...
It boils down to the legal framework of ground. If there was a law saying in case of insurgents, I give example now. In case of insurgents, in case of Boko Haram, do not grant bail. No judge will be irresponsible to grant bail. They work with laws.
So is the judiciary ready now, you think? In the lines of the anti-terrorism law, which we have now?
Good. Now they are very much ready to deal with the matter on the ground because there is legal framework.
All right, Fidel Osodi is a legal practitioner. Thank you for coming on today.
Thank you very much.